Hey guys, and welcome! With the start of Season 6, we did not only get new content and a huge amount of bug fixes and improvements for Battlefield 2042, but also some changes and new features that might fly a bit under the radar or weren't mentioned in the patch notes at all. So in today's video, I want to go over 12 of these points and show you what you might have missed. If you haven't played 2042 in a while or you didn't follow the news before the start of the season, you can also find a video with a summary of all major changes in the info box. But now let's get into the more stealthy ones. First of all, you can find 6 new backgrounds in the customization screen of the player card. 3 of them are for the new weapons, the VHX, G428 and L9CZ, and can be unlocked by doing kills, assists and headshots with them. Another one is for the new vehicle, the Pondhawk, and for this you need to travel 3 kilometers and capture 2 objectives in one life. The 5th background is for the new gadgets, the ammo and med pouches, and here you need to do heals and resupplies. And then there is the last one that is for the new map Redacted. To unlock it, you need to visit 2 different locations on the map, and the first one is the zip line that goes through these 3 red tunnels close to sectors A, B and C. Just follow them until the end of the map and ride all of them. It only says you need to use the middle tunnel, but to play it safe I would recommend using all of them. The second location can then be found between sectors B and C, where this hospital part is, and here you have this blood writing on the floor, and when you turn around there are hospital beds behind a crossbarred window. Walk into this room and along the beds and the player card background should unlock. As usual, you can complete all of these assignments in solo and portal matches against AI or even on empty servers, so there's no need to sweat it in multiplayer. Alongside of the backgrounds, you can also unlock 2 new player card tags, but these are not directly connected to the new season or its content. One of them is the Friday Night Battlefield tag, and this can simply be unlocked by playing one match of a Friday Night Battlefield mode. So whenever you play between Friday 12 PM UTC and Saturday 12 PM and you select the specific FNB mode from the start screen, you will receive this tag at the end of the match. We had similar tags in former Battlefield titles that were also rewarded for participating in matches on Friday night, so I'm happy that this kind of tradition returns. The second player card tag is then called Master the Unknown, and this can be unlocked by finding one or more of the missing in-action posters that are scattered across all maps of the game, except for Redacted. Some say you need to find all of them in order to unlock the tag, but I only visited 3 and it worked as well, so I don't think you need to run around all maps and find every single one of these posters. If you have unlocked the tag already, the posters won't be visible for you anymore, so be sure to check your collection before going on the hunt. Maybe the tag is already there. If not, you can find the location of all posters with the link below the video or in the pinned comment. If you want to know more about the missing notepads and about the lore of Season 6 in general, you can now also find additional entries in the Codex that go over all of the involved companies, reports and locations. I know this is not everyone's favorite way of learning about the backstory of the game, but it's at least a little more organized than before the Codex existed. If you prefer to set a custom music for your game, you can do this as well now, cause there were several music options added with Season 6 that you can find at Sound Settings and Audio. Here you can choose between Default, which is always the one of the current season, Launch, which is the music the game had when it was released, so pre-season, the single music packs for seasons 1 to 5, or you can completely randomize it if you want the game to surprise you with any of these options every time you start it. A nice addition, especially if you liked a specific season music a lot and want this to be your default. In addition, you can also find another auto throw option in the settings now at controller or mouse and keyboard and then on foot. Here you can enable auto throw crates, which works in a similar way to auto throw grenades. So instead of holding a crate in your hands and then throw it with an additional press of a button, you will throw it immediately when toggling the button or key for the gadget. Feels a bit more similar to former titles, but might also take some time to get used to after all this time of pressing 2 buttons. Still an interesting option if you want this whole mechanic to be a bit faster. There's also a nice little mechanic for the new ammo and med pouches that might fly a bit under the radar, and that's the self-healing. Cause when you have one of these gadgets equipped and you are in need of either heals or ammunition yourself, you can simply hold the gadget button, which is 3 on PC or D-pad right on controller, and your specialist will resupply or heal themselves. If this is not the first Battlefield title for you, you might be familiar with this mechanic, but with all the features that 2042 reinvents and reintroduces, I thought it's still worth mentioning. A completely new feature that was added, on the other hand, is the squad deploy warning, and even though this is not a stealth change, it's important to know about it, so I thought I include it here as well. What it does is that when you are in combat and a squad mate tries to spawn at you, you will see a notification on the left hand side of the screen that says "In combat, squad deploy unavailable." When you see this, you should seek cover if you can and let your squad mate spawn at you. This can help a lot in situations where you are outnumbered or want to go for an objective and a squad mate wants to support you. Another really useful mechanic that was just added is that revives will now cancel automatically when you attempt to fire or aim down sights. Before the update, you always had to manually cancel the revive in case an enemy was suddenly appearing or you were under fire, but now it's enough to simply aim down sights or fire your weapon and the revive will be cancelled alongside of it. This way you are a lot less vulnerable when going for revives since you are not stuck in an animation, and it helps to support the medics on the battlefield, so thumbs up for this. And then we have an addition to the reduction of explosive spam that I had pointed out in my last video, because besides the lower blast radius of frag and scatter grenades and the decrease of ammunition for the SPH explosive launcher, the number of grenades for the Underbarrel launchers was also reduced. Now there's only 1 grenade per type available instead of 3, which means when you are using the SFAR with 3 different Underbarrel launchers, you only have 3 grenades in total instead of 9 that you had before. A change that wasn't mentioned at all in the patch notes, even though they had a specific part for explosives. And 2 more changes that were not mentioned are the buff to the MCS 880 shotgun and the nerf to the 12mm auto. For the MCS 880, the damage was increased from 15 to 20 per pellet within a range of up to 20 meters, and for the 12mm auto, the damage was reduced from 15 to 10 per pellet between 20 and 50 meters. So if you were wondering why the MCS is played a bit more now and the 12M a little less, that's probably the reason. And change number 11 that wasn't specifically mentioned somewhere and tried to sneak in under the radar is the slower progression through weekly missions and battle pass points in Season 6. Cause instead of the 52 battle pass points we got in Season 5 per week, we only received 37 with the start of Season 6, and even when considering the different number of weeks that the seasons had, you were able to earn a total of 660 points in Season 5 through the weekly missions and only a total of 592 points in Season 6. In addition, the base amount of XP needed for 1 battle pass point was increased from 2,500 to 6,500. So the progression is a lot slower and it takes longer to unlock the rewards of the battle pass. And I'm sure you can imagine that this change was not well received by the wider player base, which is why DICE immediately reacted to it and made some changes. So starting in week 3 of the season, the battle pass points you can earn per mission are increased to 4, and in week 2 we will be able to earn 5 battle pass points per mission to compensate for the lost points in week 1. This makes 46 points in total when you do the bonus mission as well, and across the 16 weeks of the season it's 736 battle pass points that can be earned by completing weekly missions. The XP you need for the additional points, however, stays the same. I would have also preferred to see an increase in points over the mission tiers, so tier 1 earns 3 points, tier 2 4 points, and tier 3 5 points per mission to reward the completion of more difficult missions as well, but at least they reacted and changed it, so I don't want to complain. I'm just always wondering why they try to sneak in these changes without openly communicating about them and instead wait for players to point them out and give negative feedback. Maybe something they should be more transparent with in the future. Anyways, the last point for today are the new Prime Gaming skins that can be claimed for 2042, and that's quite interesting because they might point towards more seasons for the game. Because when you are a member of Amazon Prime and you have your account connected to Twitch, you can now get another 12 months of cosmetic items, and the last time we had this was back then when the game was released. And when I saw this being reactivated now, I was actually surprised, because why would they do a full year of cosmetics when the game is not further supported? Maybe there is indeed more to come during the next months, and maybe it's even 2 or 3 more seasons. Let's see. But that was it for today. I hope you enjoyed this overview of all the things that might fly under your radar, and if you did, be sure to drop a like or a comment below and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Until then, thanks for watching, and thanks to my members for the additional support. I'm the Catwoman, and you are awesome.